There are 5 artists left, and in 2 weeks we will crown who is the next art master. Stay tuned to find out what happens. Welcome to the Art Wars Series 3 quarterfinals. We have 5 artists left, as last time it was a double save. If you haven't watched that, go check it out. And in today's main challenge we have a all new twist, because time is basically just going to be very important in today's episode. But first of all, it is time for an Art Wars twist. This episode, the winner is guaranteed a spot in the Art Wars 3 finals, meaning they won't have to compete next episode. So it's really all to play for this episode, and if you're on the bottom 2, someone is definitely going home. And this does mean that we will be having a top 3 for the first ever time on Art Wars, as the final is right round the corner. Today's main challenge is all about time. The artist's theme of drawing was time, and for a bit of a twist, each day the artist had would mean they would have negative points, so there was no time limit. So what happened is every artist was given 700 points. Each day they would have minus 50 points until they hand in their art. Then the artist scored, and their average plus the head judge's score added up times by 10 is added on, and that would be their overall score. So you're gonna want to be quick to get those points in. So here is the 5 pieces of art done. Before we reveal the rankings of this episode, everyone's going to get some critiques, and also I reveal how long they took to do the art. So first up is Potatoiana, and they took... something just fell in my bedroom. Don't know what it was. But they ended up with 600 points after taking only 2 days to do their artwork, one of the quickest of the episode. Now, 2 different people have done the theme of the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland, which... one of them definitely did better than the other, and I think Potatoiana did better. Just their style has made it so original on their own. It's not basic, it's so different, and I love the positioning. The background's really cool. Overall, it's a great drawing. There's only like a couple small things that I don't like, which is the head, the shading on the head. I feel like it's just a bit too much. And I don't get what's in their hand. Is that Alice? But other than that, once again, Potatoiana has absolutely smashed it and pulled it out of the bag. Next up, my personal favourite drawing of the episode, Candy Me Like. Now this is what we've been waiting for Candy to do. Over the last couple of episodes, we have been very harsh, I think. But we wanted Candy to step it up once again, as they set such a high barrier on that first episode for themselves. And they've done it. They smashed it out of the park. I love this drawing so much. They ended up with 450 points left over the time period. That means they took 5 days? Yeah, 5 days. Which was one of the middle ground time, and they did score up on that higher end. So let's see if that time does drag them down. But yeah, the drawing overall is so original, funky, fresh. The level of detail is absolutely incredible. And I'm just so happy to see Candy Me Like is back at it. Next up is Raindrop, who also went for that White Rabbit theme, but in a more humanoid kind of form. Now, the only reason I think this one slightly lacks less is because the background's just kind of white. It's not much to it. And that's one thing I think Raindrop struggles with, is backgrounds, because we don't see them do it often. In that profile battle, we did see quite a couple epic backgrounds, but on Art Wars, when there's a time constraint, I think they struggle with it slightly. But overall, the drawing is, I think, a decent, solid drawing. Now, Raindrop did take the exact same amount of time as Candy, so it was a close draw between those two, really all about the art element of it. And I don't know if Raindrop pulled it through. Next up is Captain Q, who took 4 days to do this, giving them 500 points after minusing. Now, with the art, I think they prioritised doing it quickly over the level of skill and detail that went into it, because we've seen so much better from Captain Q. This is just not the vibe. I really do not like this drawing, and neither did the judging circle. It was rushed, it's tacky. Overall, it lacks that level of skill we've seen from Captain Q. And I think in challenges like this, yes, doing it quick is something, but we still don't want you to skimp out on that skill element of the art. And last up is Brummy. Now sadly, Brummy didn't have time, and they ran out of time with all 700 points going down the drain, as they only could hand in a sketch of the Loki themed drawing they were doing, which could have been so cool, but sadly didn't have the time. And based off the sketch alone, they did get 70 points, but I think it's pretty obvious where they have placed. So I can't really give critiques for this, and neither could the judging circle, because all it was a sketch. It's time for the rankings. It is now time for me to reveal the results of this episode. In first place, with their 4th win, it's Potatiana, putting themselves way ahead of the competition with 4 wins, and Candy, Captain Q and Brummy all have 1, and Raindrop has none. But bear in mind, Raindrop has been safe and hasn't been in the bottom 2 the whole series long. Speaking of Raindrop, they have placed safe in 3rd place. Brummy, obviously, I think it's pretty obvious where they've placed, is dead last and will be up for elimination, leaving Captain Q and Candy Me Like. Candy is 2nd and safe, and Captain Q is 4th and safe. But obviously Potatiana had to pick one person for elimination. Keeping it fair, they picked Captain Q. That means we'll be seeing Captain Q and Brummy in the elimination challenge. So Captain Q and Brummy are up for elimination, but who goes home? It could be either of them. But this elimination challenge isn't like any other we've had before. As for a starter, there hasn't been one, because for the first time in Art Wars history, the golden paintbrush has been used to save an artist from elimination. We all know Brummy is the holder, but who they used it on might come as a surprise, as they used it on Captain Q, sacrificing himself, saying they felt that Captain Q deserved to continue on to the semi-finals. So that does mean in 5th place, leaving Art Wars Series 3, is Brummy. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Art Wars. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure to stay tuned, because the semi-finals is coming right around the corner, and we will crown our next art master.